Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for September 3rd through the 9th of 2023. So our quote for the week says, "To exist is to change. To change is to mature. To mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly." Deep breath. Have you ever noticed that you are many people in one? Have you ever noticed that? I joke about it in this context. I'll say if somebody's trying to get over or present something that's unreasonable for my age and stage, I will joke about it being, oh yeah, you know what? 20-year-old Kelly would have loved that. 30-year-old Kelly was a whole different animal. 40-year-old Kelly was a whole different animal. I mean, every decade we really get to mature and change and create ourselves over and over and rebirth ourselves over and over and regenerate our lives over and over. And this is what time it is, y'all. Between the retrogrades and the super full moons clearing us out, it is time to dream a new dream. Now, to that end, we could kick off the week by reminding you all about the Cracking the Ancestral Code Level 1 class is open to everyone, and it's especially good for beginners learning how to do ancestor reverence or grief work or shadow work. All of that is wrapped up in ancestor work. And Yeye Louisa Tish is the best teacher and guide to help you set a foundation that can support you for a lifetime. So I hope you will consider joining our class this year. We do it every year in the fall. Cracking the Ancestral Code 1, like I said, is open to everyone. And then once you get through Code 1, we have Code 2. And we usually do them together like we're doing this year. So check that out when you get a chance. And for those of you who did Level 1 last year in 2022, you are ready for Level 2. And so the link to register for that is in here as well, because I do know some of you are on my eLIST as well as Yeye's eLIST. So we've been trying to get that link together and it's ready to go. And for those of you who are on Yeye's Patreon, you get 20% off this class. So there's one of those perks for being on Yeye's Patreon. I love it. And know that our week is kicking off on Sunday the 3rd with Venus going direct. Yay! Let's have a party. We love when planets go direct. That means it's going to lift up a little bit and allow us to move forward in ways we have not been able to yet. There's still a shadow period. She's going to be in Leo now until October 8th. That's when she'll move into Virgo. And the thing that we always consider is, what do planets do right before they retrograde and right after they go direct? And once it hits Virgo, that's such an intense, amazing follow-up to the Mercury retrograde in Virgo, because we had to change our thinking in order to change our values, and we had to change our values in order to change our thinking. It's all connected this year for some reason. So let's dive in. I remind you here, process, integrate, prepare. Leo is all about what you love and care about, and that has evolved over the last 18 months to 8 years. And adjustments to your personal creativity, self-expression, and what inspires you from within should reflect the upgrade. Take a time out to review your own ways of being yourself, expressing yourself, and sharing yourself. That is what this retrograde has likely brought to the foreground. Leo energy always reveals where you are or are not shining or sharing your light with the world. This energy teaches you to stay true to your own heart and stand in the truth of your own journey. Periodically, we need to rededicate energy and resources to some self-care and refreshing the inner light. Leo also gets us present to the kind of friends, lovers, and communities that we choose, and they too should reflect a major upgrade this year. Asheo! That's a way of saying, yes, we need that upgrade around for everybody. Even if we're keeping the same people, may we all rise together. I love it. We are now entering the post-shadow period, September 3rd to October 8th, when these various inner upgrades will begin to become more and more obvious, and your new values and priorities will start to emerge renewed. I love it. As you reflect on the last 8 years, you may be able to find where you lost your authentic self along the way, and now you are reconnecting with your heart and remembering your mission. You recognize that your own magnetics were attracting the wrong things, situations, and people, And now you are being given time to do a conscious course correction around your relationships and finances in particular, so that you can magnetize a better vibrational match to this higher self-expression and brighter light that wants to come through you. Venus direct. Okay, there is a full-blown article, and of course the replay introducing this new cycle, because every time she retrogrades is what kicks off a new cycle. So I'm going to leave these links in here, probably for this week and next, and then I'll take it out. But this week, the monthly missive is going out. And so for those of you on my eLIST who only hear from me once a month, I'm just saying you miss a lot in between, but I understand not wanting more emails, so I totally get that. But I just want to remind you monthlies that you should check in between time to see what's going on, so it doesn't seem so big every time I land in your inbox. But just in case y'all missed it, I want to make sure that you get a chance to check out the replay and find all the links to the reading custom guide and monthly circle. We kick it off in a new way every 18 months, and this is the beginning. Then Monday the 4th, Mercury retrograde, trining Jupiter. This is the second of 3 hits. The first hit was August 9th. Second hit is this week, September 4th, and the final hit is right after equinox on September 25th. So Mercury is our thinking, Jupiter is our higher consciousness, a trine is ease and grace, Virgo to Taurus is earthy, so we're getting in our body and our physical well-being in addition to our mental well-being and our consciousness and what we believe to be true or possible. So deep breath. This is a process. Anytime the planets are retrograde and hit things 3 times over, we know it's not just a one and done activation. So I kind of look at this activation as having some ease and grace around changing our thinking, around changing our perspective on our physical reality, on cleaning the filters of how we perceive our reality. That's what's been up for this Mercury retrograde in a very big way. Like what systems are working, what systems are not working. How well and how often and how consistently do you process and do what you got to do? And how often do we put it off till there's a big old pile to process? That's why I am a huge proponent of ongoing, regular shadow work, honey. That prevents the piles. So this activation is great for expanding your mind, learning something new, or taking a class. It's time to plan for the future and start getting organized. However, you may feel less disciplined and more creative, which is fine in the beginning, but eventually focus and discipline will have to be engaged to ground your new ideas, thoughts, or concepts. You have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? If you are self-aware, awake, and alert, you will be able to see and seize the opportunities as they present themselves. It may appear to be luck, but it's really more that you are in alignment with the cosmos, present and positive, and ultimately able to trust and follow your own instincts. Practice, there is no perfection with that. So being optimistic, looking for opportunity in every experience will magnetize the positive and naturally repel the negative, leading right where you want to be. Take advantage of this good energy to connect to whatever it is you are trying to create in your life at this time. Deep breath. So, because it's a process and we're less disciplined and more creative, I would say free flow with some of this. I think we've talked about this either on the forecast or maybe in one of my classes about some of the other effects of the Mercury retrograde and the Venus retrograde together is that we are recognizing old creative projects that might still have some juice in them, that might be able to be repackaged and redreamed in a new way and presented, upgrade the presentation, and re-release them suckers, because people do need whatever it is that you're offering. And sometimes it's a timing issue. When we first put things out and nobody bites, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. It's a timing thing. And then there's other days where everything lines up and you're ready. So that's the point, is to be ready with whatever it is that you do want to share. And maybe while Mercury is doing this, you do take a class or learn something new. We would love to have you in my classes or Yeye's classes or NASA's classes. We're all cooking over here. Same day, on Monday the 4th, Jupiter retrogrades in Taurus until December 30th. So Jupiter retrogrades every year, giving us a chance to focus on what has expanded and reevaluate what in your life needs to increase and what in your life needs to decrease. That will happen now during September to December of 2023. We have all been through a lot on the social collective levels over the last 1 to 3 years, and many of us have awakened to our non-negotiables, those things that make it possible for you to feel individual comfort and personal security. Life is way too short to be living someone else's values or priorities. This energy is going to encourage us to improve our environment, beautify ourselves, and create something tangible, valuable, and long-lasting. It's time to fully embody and truly express your new values by making new choices and different decisions. You can use this retrograde period to review your relationships and assess your resources and see where you can improve all of it. Jupiter expands the focus on your own magnetics, what you naturally attract and what you naturally repel with your own energy field. Something else we can consciously improve with Jupiter here for a whole year. Determination, patience, and consistency is going to be needed to bring your renewed and expanded vision to life. Whatever you're creating, inside or out, must be sustainable, practical, valuable, and ultimately beautiful. Full of beauty and your own essence. That's where we're heading, y'all. During the retrograde, you should also be mindful of the shadow of Jupiter in Taurus, which is extremes, indulgence, stubbornness, or impatience. And you have to particularly watch any extremes around eating, drinking, sexing, or spending. If things are going well for you, Jupiter will bring blessings and improvements to your Taurus department. However, if things are not going well for you at this time, be mindful because Jupiter's influence makes everything bigger, good, bad, or indifferent. And the biggest shadow of this energy is what we call a hungry ghost, when no matter what you manifest, it does not satisfy that inner hunger. If you are co-creating with these energies, and especially if you have any Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo Aquarius activated in your chart, then the next 3 years are vital to anchoring much larger cycles that will fortify, nurture, and protect you going forward. So I left these years in here to reflect on because they might inform the retrograde period while you're editing your story, which is what we're supposed to do every year when Jupiter retrogrades, no matter what sign it's in. Here we're editing the story in your Taurus department. Mine is the 6th house of daily routine and health and well-being, and I'm on it. I've talked to some of my girlfriends. I want to look like how I feel. I feel very blessed, and I feel like I've accomplished a lot, and I have made great strides in my own maturity, and I want to look like it. I want to feel and look as good as possible. And Jupiter in Taurus has been helping me improve all that. So diet and exercise and trying to get this rest schedule right when you're in menopause and hot flashes and all that fun stuff for females over 50. But I'm doing it, and Jupiter's helping. So these years might assist you in recognizing your fixed energies and where Jupiter has been doing the expansion recently, in the recent past, and in the coming future. So right now, Taurus is 23 to 24. The year that Jupiter's in Taurus, last time it was there, was 2011 to 2012. 3 years ago, 2020 to 2021, Jupiter was in Aquarius. Last time it did that was 2009. 6 years ago, 2017 to 18, Jupiter was in Scorpio. Last time it did that was 05-06. And 9 years ago, 2014-15 was the last time Jupiter was in Leo, akin to 02-03. So for those of you with strong fixed signs, those years were going to pop either way, whether you have Jupiter there or not. It just means Jupiter was expanding everything you do have, okay? Now, September 6th, which is Wednesday, Mercury retrograde conjuncts the Sun. This is part of the annual, well, let's say 3 to 4 times a year, Mercury retrogrades and links up with the Sun to reset a 3-month cycle. So that's where we're at. They connect when Mercury's retrograde, and then it goes forward, and they connect when it's forward as well. But in general, we're redreaming, rethinking how we express on many levels. Communication, of course, is a focus when Mercury retrogrades. Just make sure that it's reciprocated. What I mean is two-way conversation or two-way communication and exchange of ideas. As you initiate this new cycle of self-expression, you will have access to some powerful energy that can and probably will help you make a difference or an impression on others if you need to. This is a good time to travel if possible. However, if not physically, then mentally through visualization or within your own area locally. Because if you explore a new direction, you are much more likely to discover something new. This energy opens you up to a download of more information than usual, so pay attention. If you are solid and organized, you may even gain some much-deserved recognition from others that you have earned through your individual efforts. So, deep breath. The caveat with this is the fact that Mercury is actually retrograde, having this meeting, this council meeting with the sun, is what we call the underworld, because now Mercury and Sun are so close together we cannot see Mercury. And just like Venus, Mercury has a morning star and an evening star process that it goes through. So let's look at this as a review of how we express, checking in to make sure of where we're heading, and similar to what I said earlier, like get yourself together so that your presentation is right and you can magnetize better, but also in this case, express your truth. Express that true identity, that true purpose that's coming through you at this time. Then Thursday the 7th is our next Venus circle. We are still very early in this process, so getting your reading and custom guide is totally doable. So just reach out if you're ready to track your monthly progress around your values and priorities and around your relationships and finances. Meantime, you're totally welcome to drop in periodically, and if Leo or any of the fixed signs are important to you, then this month is special too. We have the inner initiation. This is what we call the death by intent, where we choose to release. We choose to initiate this process of release at our Earth star chakra. We start at the root and end at the root in the Venus circle. And so we are just kicking off this release work for real, for real. Now we go internal and we start meeting with the moon once a month. So drop in this month or anytime you feel called. Thursday, September 7th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's only $25 for the call and the tools. So join us anytime. Then on Friday the 8th, we have Sun trining Jupiter. So Sun and Mercury are kind of a tag team, but Sun does not retrograde. So Mercury can linger in certain places, but this is important because this is going to inform a lot of what we've already talked about. This is a blessing of source energy fueling your biggest dreams and visions for your life in this lifetime. You are encouraged to take advantage of the good vibe available when these two get together to expand your life's direction in a big way. This activation is often blessings from previous dedication. You've been moving in a certain direction, and it's like the path is wider and deeper now, allowing you to connect some huge pieces of your personal story together in a whole new way. It's great for learning and exploring anything that will support your forward movement and make you more valuable to the team. Some may use the good vibe to veg out and relax, which for some may be best. However, if you are stepping up to new levels of your own consciousness, this energy totally supports you as you integrate it all. It is an enthusiastic, optimistic energy that will open doors for you depending on your attitude. It will allow you to see the big picture and the next necessary step toward your goals at this time. Deep breath. So that's right, Sun lights it up and illuminates this area. Trine is ease and grace. We got this Virgo-Taurus combo again, so we're really tapping into our creature comforts and personal security needs, whatever they may be, right? Everyday primal essential needs, food and shelter basically, right? How's that going? Taurus gets real basic and primal. But Virgo's our systems. How much can our system handle? Physical systems, mental systems, emotional systems, spiritual systems. We don't want to blow our circuits. And right now that's real easy to do with everything else going on in the world. So self-preservation is not selfish, but essential and the first law of nature. So do what you got to do. The sun also is all about you. And Jupiter is all about improving and expanding your consciousness. So when they get together with this ease and grace, again, it gets kind of easy. Where you're having certain ease around changing your mind on certain things because you've outgrown them, there's going to be some ease in stepping up to your next level as well because you've done the clearing, you've done the work, you've let go of the non-essential, and you've made space. We want to make room for our dreams. Some of us, if we manifested it today, we would not be well. We would not be ready. So think about that. Think about what you're calling in and act as if it's already arrived and prepare accordingly. If that is the truth, you'll know what you need. If you're feeling a strong new beginning for yourself, which, like I said, we have done this clearing. We're right in the heart of it as I do this recording. It's only Friday morning. After our Wednesday super full moon in Pisces, which is the completion of all, once we get to the Pisces zone, it is integration on every level. And in this case, we're clearing illusions and delusions with that Pisces full moon, and fear and overwhelm and victim consciousness and martyrdom. All that's a shadow Pisces. Be gone. And the reason we want it gone, and we need it gone, and we need to address and do burning bowls and whatever you got to do, go sweat it out, is because the Virgo new moon activates completely new systems for us. And thanks to the retrogrades, it's pretty clear what's not working or what's not sustainable and what has to change. So hopefully you've been feeling supported to do your work and to marinate these changes internally so you can make them externally. I trust, I trust, I trust. Meantime, we had a fantastic spider medicine meeting, and even for those of you who are really uncomfortable with spiders, I think you would still love the energy that we discussed in that call. So the replay is available. It's only $25 for the tools and the replay, and the tools are off the chain. Okay, so we have custom tools every month working through the animals. And so they're journal prompts and fill in the blanks, what I call Mad Libs. And it's so much fun because it really gets your wheels turning in a different kind of way. Speaking of new and different, I had to throw this in here because my sister Lana Moon put it out just in time, reminding us about the 555 Ritual Box monthly subscription for $55.55. And I love this. Of course, 5 is my number. I'm a 32-5. And 5 is Oshun and Venus and all the delicious sacred feminine energy. And 555, you know, is the angels. And so it's a very mystical, hand-picked, unique every month box of goodies to do your mojo, to work magic and your rituals and ceremonies and all the tools you need. And I know NASA's doing a video to teach you how to use everything, to tell you about every product in there and what it's good for and how you can use it in other things and other rituals. It's amazing, y'all. They have really hooked this up. And this monthly subscription is going to be great. So check that out. We're still going to do some live rituals, but we really got a lot of feedback on how many people do their own thing and would like to do it in their own time and can't always make the Zooms and that kind of thing. So we have really cooked up some good stuff to keep us all on track. And I'll be real with you, I believe the invisible work is actually more important because my experience, and I can only speak for myself, has been that when I do my energy work and my ritual work, my literal life works out organically in perfect ways, in divine ways that I couldn't have even predicted or prepared for because I was thinking in different directions, right? And spirit always has something good for us. So my thing about manifesting or cultivating a life that you want and dream about is when you're asking and you're doing these rituals or writing these petitions and lighting these candles, is to ask for this or something greater, this or something better, this or more, you know, whatever it is, to allow spirit some wiggle room to contribute. Because if we say we want X, Y, Z, Spirit's going to give you X, Y, Z. And a lot of times we're thinking literally and Spirit's thinking higher consciousness. So we've got to recognize how valuable our spiritual practices are. And that is what ritual and ceremony is to me. It's my spiritual practice. I engage with my ancestors in Orisha. I engage with the gods and goddesses that I'm familiar with. I engage with the planets and the stars, the fixed stars. You know, all of these things are part of my team, part of my invisible team that keeps me on track. And you really can't sway me from this, y'all, because Spirit has been right way too often for me to question or doubt. And all I can say is it works when you work it. So getting into practice and using the tools that we supply, checking in with the energies, all of those things support you in your earth walk. And we love to be part of that. Also, we're in the season. And like I said, this is going out to the monthly missive. So I want to make sure that any of you all who have not seen or heard my goddess videos yet, I'm leaving those in the blog for another week. I'm very proud of them. They were my attempt at a new medium. I'm not a big visual person. I'm a wordsmith. I'm a linguist. But I want to practice teaching more with visual tools, and that was my first shot at it, and that was actually a couple years ago, but I created them for August, September time during the shift from Leo to Virgo, and everything in there about self-care and boundaries and protection, self-love and self-worth. I mean, there's some really great suggestions in all those videos, and they're all like 10 to 20 minutes. None of them are that long. And Hathor has been the most popular, I have to say, y'all. I've never had a video get more than 100, 150 hits. And this one's getting up to 4,000. So for some reason, that one's circulating. That one's getting shared, and something's happening. I don't know. Somebody's got it somewhere that it's getting ridiculous hits. Lilith is the next one behind it, pushing up on 1,000. But see, even she's not touching Hathor. Hathor's got it down. And Hecate. Hecate is all about the boundaries. So those three are my favorite, but I love me some Oshun and I love me some Artemis. And I had made those earlier, so let's just say each video got better in the order that I did them. And the other video in here this week, and I'll leave it in again for my monthly people to catch it, is the introduction to my Soul Sisters Circle, which has a lot of my story in there and how I got into this work. And if you're ever curious, or I do encourage you all, share me all the time. So if people ask, what does Kelly do and what's she all about, that video is a really easy thing to share and be like, check her out here. Because I explain all my basic principles in there of how I work in all my circles. It's not just the Soul Sister Circle, but I put it together to invite people into that. And NASA's kicking off her school. It's happening. I'm doing activations. People are coming. Build it and they will come. I'm so proud of her because this has been a big undertaking of consolidating all the many things she teaches into one place, which I think is going to be really good for her and good for you. So check out the Indigenous Spirituality School that NASA Bawa has put together. It is really juicy for anyone, again, trying to deepen your dedication around your spiritual practices and your Ifa work and learning how to co-create with your Orisha. And she works it all in, honey. She works it all in. All right, y'all. I think that's it. I hope you have a fantastic week, a fantastic month for those of you checking in. Please join us when and where you can and reach out directly when you need to. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.